Welcome to another episode of Alpha Intuition Podcast. We're going to help you guys crack their crazy girl code. I'm your host, Keisha L. Blair, and joining me today is my co-host that is replacing my last co-host, Jerry Yarbrough. What's up, Jerry?
Hello there.
We giving Essence the night off this evening. She'll be joining us next week, but I just want you guys to know that we have somebody who's definitely going to keep the conversation going. So yeah, we got old big bro Jerry on with us tonight. So what's going on, Jerry?
Just living life, enjoying every day as much as I can. That's it.
Cool. All right, let's see here. So today we're going to just hop right into it, man. Today we're going to be talking about the psychology of attraction and what drives desire. Yeah, he said, I think that's a good topic. I think, when I think about the psychology of attraction and what drives desire, I think it really just depends on who you are, and then it also depends on the other person, because we all have our certain things that we are attracted to, but of course the first thing that we're attracted to is physical appearance, right? But of course that's the given, right? Of course we always want something that's easy on the eyes, but what goes beyond that, so just from a guy's perspective, what is the first thing that comes to mind that you are attracted to beyond looks?
Intelligence, definitely. Can you hold a conversation? Can you hold a conversation on a whole lot of different topics? So the more a woman can maintain great conversation, that's impressive. That's very impressive to someone that's a thinker, Otherwise, she could have the total outside package, but if there's no conversation, it's sad, because immediately it's not going to go anywhere.
But will you still try to holler at her though if the outside package is kind of, let's just say, if she's like a 9, right? If you got somebody who's a 9 that can't really hold a conversation, I mean, what you gonna do? You gonna be like, no?
I would say from a male perspective, I mean, yeah, you're still gonna continue, However, if it's difficult to move forward and there's no conversation, there's not a lot of intelligence, then just keep it moving. Just keep it moving at that point. It's not something worth fighting for, if that makes sense.
So I've heard guys say that not all guys now, but some guys say that they want a woman that they feel is not as smart as they are. So when you have a woman, like you said, that may not be able to hold a conversation, do you think that to some guys that could be something that's attractive to them because they think that they're smarter than this woman that they're talking to? Why you look like that?
Yeah, I wasn't looking at myself. I have no idea how bad it looks. But no, I think that for a man, I mean, I can't speak for that dude, I know that a big thing for me is if I'm in a room with my woman full of people, I'd like to be able to go mingle and she go mingle. Like,
yeah,
I know that she can handle herself in conversation with other people in that room. Excuse me, in that room. She doesn't need me there to, keep the conversation alive or going. If you're at a networking event or if you're in a room full of professionals or something of that nature, that's me. That's my choice. I want someone that can articulate themselves very well in that arena, and I don't feel, like, okay, what's happening over there, and I can't focus on the conversation I'm having because I got to keep an eye out over there to see, how's that conversation going, and that kind of boils back down to trust in the intelligence of your mate, and then you kind of come together later at the end of the night, or, even maybe during whatever the function is, and say, hey, so what happened with so-and-so? And they, oh, he was saying this, that, and the third, or she was telling me about this and that. We really ought to look at possibly making this type of move, or I was thinking of this. So again, that's bringing, a great amount of intelligence to the table.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
So yeah, I'm gonna take you back just a little bit though, before you even get to the point with that person to where you
Mm.
want to invite them to go to networking events and things like that with you. What are some of the initial things that you are attracted by beyond just looks, like maybe like pheromones or something like that? I mean, does that come into play for you? Because
Yes,
because I remember you were talking about with the person that you're with now, how you felt like you knew her when you first met her, right? So I mean, how did that come to play? What was that feeling that you felt in that moment that made you feel like you already knew her?
everything stopped.
Mm,
There was nobody else there. Like, all 100% focus was on her.
wow, that sounds.
All 100% focus was on her. And I have had that once before, but it
Mm,
wasn't reciprocated. It was like across the room, and I saw that person and everything stopped, you know? But with my mate I have now, and I don't mean it wasn't reciprocated, like she wasn't into me. It wasn't anything like that. It was just almost like them from the other side. I don't know any other way to put it. It was
yeah.
very different. It's very different. So with my current mate, it was 100% just all focus on her, to where I shut down the other conversation I was having and apologized to that person, and immediately just zoned in on my woman.
Yeah. Boy, so in your mind, did you know she was gonna be your woman in that moment? Like,
I knew I was gonna make it so, but her reaction let me know off top, oh yeah, I'm with you. It was mutual, so
and
it
I wish
wasn't.
I had some music to play right now. The only song that popped in my
Ah.
head was Atomic Dog, Bow Wow Wow, Yippee Yo, Yippee Yay.
Word. So yeah, that's how it was. It was pretty. It was a great moment. It was a great moment.
Mm.
So what about you? Nothing like that.
Yeah, I've had, like I've mentioned before, I've had that one time in my life to where I
Okay.
felt like when I met someone, before I realized, walked into the room and I felt like I knew that person from across the room. Got closer, realized I did not know the person, but just the feeling that I had. And then, when we met, it just continued on to where this person, he captured, I feel like he captured the essence of me and made me want to know more about him because he wanted to know more about me. So that was a very magnetic and intriguing moment.
Hmm. Okay. So it was from across the room, though.
Well, yes, when I first noticed it, I think I was in my 20s then, so I probably needed to wear glasses and didn't, but I really, really actually thought I knew the person. I thought I really did. And then
Okay.
the closer I got, I realized I've been staring at this person and I did not know who the person I was staring at, but he stared
Okay.
back and he smiled at me and I was smiling at him. So I kind of felt like I needed to introduce myself because I've been smiling at this person. And now I realized that I did not know him. But when I introduced myself, he was very charismatic and it was just, very receptive of us meeting. And so it was a very, very good and warming meeting that we had.
Okay. I got you. That sounds like something good.
Yeah.
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 Next question.
Next, next, but no, that was 20 years ago. That was in 2004. That was 20 years ago. So yeah,
Mm,
um, that's all I'm gonna say on that on this episode.
good moment. It was a good moment. There you go.
It was a great moment. Very, 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 very good moment. Still makes my heart smile when I think about that moment. Very
Larry,
good moment.
can I say something about what we're saying?
Sure, man. You can, this day, man. We're here to chat. What's up? Let's talk
Okay.
about it.
So I think that you can meet someone who you are supposed to engage, and that your spirit knows their spirit. That's where I'm at. That's what I don't know if you can hear that bird out there, but
Is that what that was? I thought that was a
bird.
alarm clock. I keep
Nah, it's a
getting out in
bird.
the wilderness. You out there in the in the rainforest or something.
I am in the rainforest, but yeah, he
Wow.
visits me every day, and now
Oh
he's
my
here
goodness.
tonight, which is different.
Nice. Just like
But
Rafiki on
hmm?
Lion King. I said like Rafiki on Lion King, huh? He just come visit
I've
you
never
every day.
seen it. I don't know.
He had
Ain't got
kids
no
before
kids.
Lion King,
Ain't
dude.
got no kids.
Man.
So really quick though, yeah, I think that that's a thing that your spirit recognizes another spirit that you knew, and that's a connection, you know. But that doesn't mean that it is the connection. So in my time on this planet, that's something that I've kind of believed to be true. I'm really kind of ending up because I've had a couple of instances where, you know, that hella strong, just hella
Mm.
strong, you
Yeah.
know, totally outside my normal, oh, yo, damn, look at her. Or, I wonder what she's about, you know, far greater than any of that. Go ahead.
So, but I'm gonna say this. So it's like, even though I mean, I've had people that I've been attracted to where, like, I felt like they were attracted to me, but the kind of attraction that I felt with this man, I ain't gonna call him a brother, I'm gonna call him a dude. This is a man. The kind of attraction that I felt with this man was far greater than anything I've ever felt with anyone. And like I said, that was 20 years ago, and you see me smiling like it was yesterday. You know what I mean? It's like that's something that you don't forget. Your spirit doesn't forget. When you feel like you meet someone and you're in alignment with them, that's something that doesn't come along often. Like I said, it's only been once for me, and it was 20 years ago. And yeah, so of course the reason why it stopped right there, this person actually was married at the time, so I cut it off. Well, we cut it off. It didn't go any further than that. So that's
Mhm.
why, but yeah, it was still something that I remember. It was a great moment.
Yeah, I think with, and like I said, sometimes, I don't know, I really would love to put the right words to this, but we in our ignorance may think that it is a connection of, oh, that's the one, when really that's not it. It's a connection of recognition
Correct.
on a soul, on a, you know, spiritual plane, and you end up taking it somewhere it was never meant to go. And I kind of think that that's something that definitely happens. And and it's, and then you got to shake your head like, damn, I thought it was gonna be this, that, and the third, when it wasn't. You know,
Well, in
that's
those
not it.
moments, but in those moments, do you think when that happens, do you think that it wasn't destined, or do you just maybe think that in those moments you guys may have gotten out of alignment because of other outside interfering
And
things?
I was gonna say, I think there can be self-made deviations from the proper timeline. So you went left when you should have went right.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't listen to your gut telling you, hey, go stop at that McDonald's today. Or, well, that probably sounded stupid. You know, go
Well,
get,
no, or look, or what about this? I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was just thinking,
go.
or if you have those moments to where you allow your fears of maybe situations that you've had with someone else to interfere with
Totally.
are with now, because this person has nothing to do with the whatever you went through with somebody else, but now you've allowed that fear. Basically what you're doing is you're charging somebody with somebody else's crime. You're thinking
Hmm.
about everything else that may have happened because this person may have done something and it's triggered something that happened to you in your past with somebody else, and now you're going off reacting the way you should have reacted in the past to someone else that you didn't, and now you're this person hasn't even done anything to warrant that reaction, but now you are created a scenario or a situation around something that happened to you in your past. And that could also, that could be one of the reasons where it causes you to defer from that original alignment that you have with that person.
Yes, I definitely would agree with that. I think that I think that deviation, it's like I don't think a lot of us look at it that way with
Mm.
relationships. We look at it like, oh, if I hadn't have went back to go grab my, you know, my other glasses or my shades, I would have been in that accident, because it only took me 2 minutes to go get my glasses, and that accident happened a little bit ahead of me. And so we look at things like that, if we're even awake enough to do that. And I think that it's the same type of thing So it may not even be a trauma situation. I totally agree with you. I think that that is another component that can cause that miss. But I also think that it's very simple things, because when you follow who you truly are and you're really in touch with yourself, then you feel, oh, I'm going to do that right now, or no, I'm not going to do that right now. And for me, when I do that, it just leads to more and more and more. Like, I cannot describe to you, from little things to huge things. I mean,
Yeah.
me being in Costa Rica is is me following my true self. And people go, well, yeah, that makes sense. It's paradise and all of that. Well, no, it wasn't that way. I didn't come here because I wanted to enjoy paradise per se. I came here because for 10 years I had something telling me, go, 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 go. You need to go, you need to go.
Mm.
And and I finally just did it, and I have an entirely new life. So if
Yeah.
something's itching you on the back of the neck, I know it's a little bit off topic, but if something's itching someone on the back of the neck consistently, it doesn't go away. It may go dormant, but it comes back. You need to walk that out at least. And I don't mean cheat on your mate. I don't mean anything like that, because you have to follow your commitment. You have to stick to your commitments and your responsibilities. But if you have the means and the freedom to walk it out, give it the opportunity, because you'll end up somewhere you never imagined. And I speak that straight out of life experience. All right.
Yeah. No, you good, you good. So I know you said something a minute ago about beyond that initial attraction or just the physical, what you're attracted to. So you mentioned intelligence. I think for me anyway, that is something that's really huge. Um, I think a lot, and I want to be with somebody who appreciates me for being the thinker that I am, but also somebody who can actually hold a conversation with me, and we can engage in conversations to where they're thought provoking, and we can have debates without having arguments, to where you can just voice your concern or voice your opinion, and then we just have that banter back and forth, and then at the end of it we may laugh about it and then move on. But that takes maturity to have a conversation like that, to where you don't get offended because someone feels a certain way if it's different from your thoughts and opinions.
Yeah, I 100. I'm just saying
Like
100.
it came to mind. I know guy I used to date. We used to sit up and read books together on the phone. Like you know what I mean? It's like think of, we set up and would read books like 48 Laws of Power. Like just take turn reading chapters to each other. Just some cool stuff like that. Just because we're growing, learning, leadership development, whatever you want to call it, personal development, but it's also us learning more about each other and trying to understand more about each other, because we'll talk about the chapters and discuss them, of course, afterwards, right? So it's kind of like our own little personal book club.
Yeah, but
you know?
that's a great thing, right? I would
Yeah.
agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Want me to go?
Go ahead.
All
It's all
right.
you.
I think the intelligence, man, for long term, for long term, it's just a must for me. It's a must. And the ability to see what I don't see, I want that from my mate. I don't have, eyes all the way around my head. And so to appreciate that capability in my woman is, you know, is top notch. Like, I
Yeah.
needed that. I need that. It's important. You don't, yeah, you're alone, you're born alone, you're gonna die alone. But while you're here, I'd rather not be alone, you know.
Man, man, go out there, go get your bird and bring him in. He seemed like he wants some.
I don't know what he might do to me. He ain't little. He ain't little. Sorry about that.
That's wild. That's wild. Oh my
He threw
gosh.
me off. I was kind of going somewhere else, but
That's
yeah,
all good.
I'll chill.
Oh man, no, you just made me think of something because I'm in the a couple of programs one is Next Level Speakers Academy, and then I'm also in Extreme Execution. So Extreme Execution, they have this thing called a flight assessment, to where it actually breaks down your personality type and says you're one of 4 different personality types. So the first thing that we have to do is learn about who we are inside. And when you start learning different things like that about yourself, and then the different personality traits, it makes you look at people and it makes you look at situations totally different, because you start being aware of why a person may act a certain way, why they may think a certain way, why they may do certain things. It's not just all real, and it could be, related to past experience, but it's just who they are. It's who their makeup is. Right. So it just makes you basically appreciate that person more and look at them in a light of, how can I better utilize this person on a team? Because ultimately, when you want to be with someone, you guys are going to be a team, right? So instead of you being combative and figuring out why this person is not like me, you start thinking about, how can we work together to reach our common goal?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Like, that's your teammate. Some people are very submissive, and they don't want any responsibility.
Ooh.
And there's a man out there for that.
Ooh,
there's a woman out there for that. What, submissive?
Oh, yes. You already knew what I was talking about. You said a word on that one.
Well, this is a fact though. Like, there are people who just want to not have to deal with anything. And there are people who want to control everything. So if those two come together, guess what? They're able to rock pretty well.
Wait. Say that again. Wait, back up. You said there are people. I only got the part, the people who want to control everything. So that's me. But who did you say the other person was?
Submissive is they don't want any responsibility, or they want minimal responsibility.
Right. Yeah. So I'm going to elaborate on that. I think I am a very controlling person to an extent, and that's because if I'm dealing with somebody that I don't trust, then yes, I'm not going to allow you to take control of the situation if I don't trust you to handle it. Now, when I have a man that I'm with, to where I trust him completely 100%, I have no problem with being submissive to a man that I know is going to handle his business. But everybody's not capable. And if I notice your critical thinking skills are not where they need to be, I'm not about to let you take me down the wrong path. Not going to happen.
All goes back to evidence, right?
Correct.
It all goes back to evidence. So the more you gather, the more you're able to make those decisions, and sometimes hard decisions on what you want to do next. It's just,
so the whole time you dating somebody, you collecting evidence.
Dating, yeah, dating. But once I'm all in, like, I'm all in. I don't get into relationships and commit to find out if this is the one. More than likely, I'm already feeling that this is somebody I want to spend the rest of my days with if it works out.
So let me ask you a question. So, because I just thought about something. So when you talk about collecting evidence, right, would that be the same if I were to use the analogy of you collecting pieces to a puzzle, trying to put the puzzle together to see if that person has the right pieces to fit the puzzle that you built of the person that you want to be with?
Maybe that works for you, but I didn't have like this complete picture. For me, it was, these are definites,
Yeah, what is the evidence collection for then? It's like, because I'm saying that because that sounds kind of negative. Like you collecting evidence, like you trying to catch somebody up doing something.
It's not negative, because I expect them to be doing the same thing with me. I expect you to be determining whether or not you can trust me. I expect you to be,
most of the time, a woman I already trust. It's most of the time the guys end up. We end up giving trust on the front end, and then the things that are done to us causes us to lose that trust. But most of the time, women, it's almost like the opposite, to where when we decide we like somebody, we want to be with that person. We trust you, and it's up to you to decide. It's up to the actions that you take that will allow us to keep you at that level as far as trust, or if you break that trust with us and it starts to diminish how we feel about the level of trust that we put you at. Because most of the time when a woman cares about a guy and she wants to be with them, we trust you. But over time, things that are done to us, yeah, you break that trust. So it's not like there's a buildup that causes us to trust you. There's a breakdown to bring you down from the level of trust that we had already given you.
Interesting. I would say in my young love, I gave trust. But in my older years, it's more like I'm just listening to your convo. I'm paying attention to your decision making. I'm looking at how you deal with others, right? I'm seeing how others deal with you. Because the trustworthiness, I mean, once I give it, is you got it, you know.
Well, that's
With my
that.
mate now. Go
Well,
ahead.
that's really. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's okay. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to mention about the word trust, and so, yeah, I would definitely rather 100% have your trust. If I had to choose between your trust and your love, I would want your trust, because ultimately, trusting someone will lead to love.
Or like
Love somebody don't mean you always gonna trust them.
Facts.
It will be a more healthier love when you have trust involved than if you have someone that you love. It'll be more toxic, because I've been in those relationships where they've been toxic to where you really couldn't leave because whatever the case may be, but you really didn't trust that person. But for some reason, you still wanted to be there because of the love that you thought you had. Yeah, so I would much rather have trust first over love.
I totally see that. I think in that toxic relationship you're talking about, do we love ourselves? Because if you love yourself, you wouldn't attach to someone that you can't trust.
Correct.
I guess I don't mean to say, you need to do A, B, and C and D to prove to me that I can trust you. I don't mean to come off that way. That's not what I mean. What I'm getting at is that you just have to, I don't know how to really put it. If you love yourself, you're not going to allow yourself to be misused or abused.
Absolutely.
So you feel your way through it. You just feel your way through it.
That's about that confidence, though, right? Because you have to have that confidence to where, first of all, you put yourself first. And even though you can be with someone and want to love them, but if you don't love yourself, and so if you feel a certain way about yourself, let's just say if you feel like you're here, right? And somebody comes along and they treat you just right here, you're going to be okay with it, because it's like, he treat me better than what I feel about myself. But if you feel this way about yourself and somebody comes and treats you here, you're not going to deal with it. You're not even going to tolerate it. You're going to be like, no, because I love myself too much to allow you to treat me less than what I treat myself. So it's all about confidence and how you feel about yourself inside.
100. I look, no, I'll hold off on that. What's the next question? No, it's not related. It's something else. It's something else that I did want to say. I'll just say it. It was it hit me a long time ago, like,
no, let me bring out the ninjas just so I can get you to relax now. Let me break out the ninjas.
Well, it's something that I think, I don't know if I heard this or read it many years ago, but I was scrolling on Instagram, I think, or something, and it came to me again, and I was like, yo, that's right. And that thing is, poor people discuss people, middle class people discuss events, and wealthy people, and none of this necessarily means money, but wealthy people discuss ideas.
Yeah.
And if you really, this goes back to that intelligence, right? When you meet someone, like, where are they on on that level? Are they talking to you about, I don't know,
Other
Puffy and Meek
stuff
Mill,
going.
or are they talking to you about, I was thinking, what if, boom, an idea, events, current events are important to know because you want to know that the person's
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this. I don't watch the news. And the only way I knew that there was, stuff happening or anything, just because my kids will usually call me and tell me, or somebody else will call me and tell me. But I don't watch the news. I don't have time for it. So I'm gonna say shout out to Next Level Speakers Academy, because the people that I've been placed in rooms with because of Next Level Speakers Academy have ultimately 100% changed my life. Because that's all we talk about is ideas on how to grow and how to support each other and how to take our businesses to the next level. We don't have time to be talking about each other. I'm like, when I win, you win. Right. So we're talking about how to collaborate and how to generate revenue and how to, change the world. So it's 100% facts. It's like, people, and I'm not nowhere near, well, I'm not financially wealthy, but I think spiritually I'm wealthy. I think that in my health I'm wealthy. So there are other areas and aspects of my life to where I know I have great wealth. And when I talk to people on certain avenues, depending on what their speaking topics are or whatever their coaching business is, we help each other out to many to great lengths. Like I said, and me, just even being in extreme execution and being able to have E.T. the hip hop preacher as one of my mentors. It's just like being in a room with somebody who charges $200,000 for their speaking engagements and having an opportunity to ask that person questions. I'm not talking about no current events. I'm talking about how to move forward, what is my future going to look like? And if I have the opportunity to pick this person's brain, I'm trying to figure out how I can get to where he is. Yeah, we ain't talking about no crazy stuff with nobody like that. So 100%, when you have the opportunity to be in a room with millionaires and billionaires, those opportunities will 100% change your life.
Facts. If you allow them.
If you allow them. I digress.
Them.
Got all off topic, but I'm just saying, it's like, yeah. So when we reel that back to relationships, when you meet someone and that person has that toxic mindset to where they're talking about negative stuff in the media or talking about somebody else, yeah, I don't want to hear that stuff. Now, that has no interest to me. Talk to me about how I can take my credit score from 800 to 850. Talk to me about how I can flip this real estate business. Like, let's talk about different ideas and different things to where we can help each other grow.
Yeah, no doubt. So that's what you should also be looking for in a mate, right? If that's who you are, I was trying to bring it back to that in selecting someone and meeting someone, and what are you looking for? What do they talk about? Because that's pretty much going to be who they are, especially if you see them around other people and they're talking about the same stuff, right? Birds of a feather flock together. Right. So then you get to kind of go, okay, as you learn who this person is. And I would hope that they're doing the same about you. I would hope that they are.
Yep, 100%. I would think that if I was someone who was, I don't know, I can't even imagine, but talking about something other than the things that I talk about, because I think that I come up with a lot of great ideas all the time. I talk to even my friends that I talk to, we're meaning not even just guys, but women. We talk about different platforms that we have and how to generate revenue for our businesses and how to grow our business and how to, we help each other. So yeah, it's just all about where your mindset is.
So what type of ideas do you want to converse about with your partner, though, with your man?
Oh, it can still be that, because if I have someone that has a business and he's sharing an idea with me or something that may be happening and he may be stuck in something, if my mind starts to go to work and it gets innovative, I'm going to share those ideas with him as well.
Yeah, that's the type of man you're going to want to be with, right? Someone that can accept that from you. So to make sure you're on that same plane, right? You're not talking about, people, and you can actually kick into his what he generates in his life. And that's a beautiful thing. Go ahead.
So I'm just thinking about beyond that, right? So I'm going to put this one up here. So tips for improving personal charisma and confidence, right? So I just say just be yourself. And yeah, because guess what? Guess what? Some women, that guy that may be, the superstar, be charismatic, may not be the person that a woman might be interested. She might want the guy who loves to play chess or loves to like,
Wait.
or like
What,
to like
which perspective are you coming from?
well, I'm just saying from any
The
woman, it
man?
just depends the woman, whoever she is attracted to. I'm a woman, so I can't come from no man's perspective. I'm just saying it's like the things that just for improving personal charisma, right? If it's a guy who
Mm,
approaches me, I would want him to be authentically himself and don't try to be nobody else. If you are somebody who loves to read data sheets and play chess all day, then let's do that. Like, you know what I mean? Tell me what you like.
mm,
And don't try to act like you don't, because guess what? I love math and science. I love spreadsheets. I ain't gonna lie. I can build them
mm.
in my sleep. But that's because that's because I'm a data driven person, right? So like I said, I don't, person who doesn't know you, as long as you authentically be who you are and like what you like, you're gonna find somebody that will be into you.
Well, I think when you're saying though, improving personal charisma,
Oh man, I think that bird might have chopped up some of your Wi-Fi wires.
so as a, I think what I would say to young men, especially, even older men, really a good tip: who do you admire? What are the qualities that you admire? And start to plant those things into yourself. Um, it's not to say that you suppress playing chess or you suppress whatever other maybe slight oddity that there is about you, but it is to say it's good to pull the good from other people and the things that you admire and respect about them. I'll give you an example. When I was young, there was a movie called Bad Company. Was it Delroy? What's the guy's name? The dad from Boys in the Hood, Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah.
Was a major role in that movie, and the way he carried himself in that movie, I was like, yeah. But it was really just one scene where he did a job interview, and the way he moved in that job interview is how I did every job interview from that day going forward. Any job that I wanted, I got it. Any sort of interaction that I went into of a business nature, I got it. And it's because I carried myself the way I saw that man carry himself in that movie. It's a very big thing. So sometimes you can't just rely on who you are um, in those initial interactions. There are beautiful, natural initial interactions that flow the way that you would hope that they would flow. However, we learn skills from other people, and to see another man move the way that he moved in that situation imprinted on me in a way that I still remember right now how he moved his hands, when he crossed his legs, how he sat back in the chair. So different characteristics from different people that you admire can help you move forward in your business, in your personal, etc. That's what you're doing as you go to these functions and you
Well,
speak to other people, and they give you game, or they give you ideas that could help you. You're
yes,
listening to them
yes,
because
no.
go
Excuse me.
ahead.
Because, well, when you talk about in a relationship,
Well,
um,
I'm thinking initial is what you're thinking.
yeah, what's the thing? Well, like, you always want to be authentically you. You want to be authentic. You want to be yourself. And of course, there's nothing wrong with improving your skills, improving yourself, and reading and doing whatever you want to do. But as long as you're happy with who you are inside, that's the most important thing. But don't just try to portray something just to try to get someone to be attracted to you, because it's always going to shine through that you're being an imposter. That's just having imposter syndrome.
I
So
think it depends. No, I think it depends on what it is, though, because even even in even in a relationship, or I'm sorry, getting to you meeting someone and you're getting this life started, this possible relationship started, you have to learn. Like if your dad didn't teach you this is what you need to do, You got to learn it. Otherwise, you're winging it. So,
well, all I'm saying is that don't start learning it when you meet somebody. You start thinking about Lawrence Fishburne in that movie, and that's your first time trying to be like him. We ain't doing that. Don't. No, it's not gonna happen. It's gonna come through. Now, if you see to where, okay, I like the way he does it, I'm gonna start fixing this about myself, and it becomes a personality trait change. That's totally different.
I'm saying.
Don't start that change just because you walk up on somebody like, man, I'm about to get this Lawrence Fishburne on me real quick and go holla at Shorty. No, they gonna see right through that, bro. That ain't gonna. No, we ain't doing that.
That's not quite what I mean. I mean, I'm gonna be me, but there's also, again, getting the attributes from others that show you a little something that put that spit shine on you, and you say, you know what, I want to incorporate that into who I am because I admire that, and that's it. And you just work on it, and it works for you.
So you have to make it yours. Yeah.
Well, of course, yeah. Maybe I made it too cut and dry, but no matter what, you're gonna still be you. You're just adding to your repertoire.
True.
You know, you're adding to who you are. And to me, I mean, like I said, it changed my life. I never got, oh no, I impressed everyone who I interviewed with. 100%. I got every job I ever applied for.
So let me tell you, so what'd you do? I'm curious now.
Well, I would just say watch the movie Bad Company, especially any.
Tell me what you did. Let me know so I can go do it.
It's hard to. You have to see the way Larry moves. Larry moves a particular way in any movie that he's in, but in this movie, the way he sat down, the way he relaxed, the way he breathed. Is breathed a word? Breathed. The way he moved his hands while speaking, or not moving his hands while speaking.
Yeah.
I just picked, and I've only seen the movie one time, but the vibe that he had is the vibe that I carry when I would go into any of those situations. That's it. Yeah. That's it. And I think it's the same if you meet someone else. If there's a woman who you highly admire, say you highly admire Angela Bassett. What could I pull from Angela Bassett? What grace? Because Angela Bassett has a lot of grace.
What came in my head was anime. What's love got to do with it? I'm sorry. No. That was
okay. All right. Pick somebody. Pick somebody.
You did Angela Bassett, not me. I'm just saying.
Pick someone. I'm just saying that's someone who carries herself with a lot of grace. The way she moves, the way she is in a room, that's something that if I were a woman, I would want to emulate that. That's how I saw Lawrence Fishburne in that movie. I just was like, it struck me in a different way, like nothing else. And I said, okay, that's now a part of me. I'm going to do that. So that doesn't make me not me. It simply improved who I am. And I think that maybe that's the difference. It's not being fake. It's improving who you are and how you move in certain situations. Because guess what? In those networking opportunities, I moved the same way. I hope that makes sense.
I'm sure somebody received it. Somebody probably needed to hear that. I've never heard that before. That's really good.
Cool.
Interesting. Man, what else was I going to ask you about? How to build, oh, I know I was going to ask you about. So just when you're with someone, and how do you keep that attraction going? Like, past when you meet them, past the initial thing, but how do you keep that attraction going throughout the relationship?
I think they got to help you do that. Both sides got to help you do that. Whatever it was they liked about you, whatever it was they liked about you, if you ought to know what that is, accentuate that, right?
Yeah. So basically, like
That's
how
all I
you keep that initial fire, because you get with somebody, things go on for a while, you start to lose that initial attraction. But how do you maintain that interest to make sure that your partner stays interested in you? What are some things that you do?
switch it up. Hey, I'll tell her, baby, put this on. Wear this today, and she'll be like, oh, and then she'll come to me another day and be like, what should I wear? And I'll be like, I don't know, put on what you want. Like, like you just switch it up. Don't you just have to switch it up. I think that
Mm.
that's what it is. And she'll come downstairs. I'm getting ready. I'm out the shower, getting ready, and I come out and I got on an outfit she hasn't seen me in a long time, or I'm hella bright today. I'm wearing all white, or I'm wearing things like that to kind of
You always
move
right.
around.
Give it a shout out to Team Light Skin. You always bright. I'm sorry.
So yeah, I think it's just things like that. I try to help her out when she don't expect it, but that's my love language. I also know her, like I said, I know her love languages, so I move in that, even though it's not mine. I don't necessarily, the ones that she is, I don't necessarily need those. Really, not at all. But I understand it's not for me, it's for her. And so
Yeah.
that fills her up, and she just loves on me back. I guess that's the best way to put it. I
Mm.
guess.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Rock
100%.
with you. All right.
No, I'm rocking with you. I know. I just try to do things. I'm a silly person, as you see, but I just try to do things to just maintain that, that funny side, because there's always things that you can do to be serious. But if you do something silly or do something funny, you just try to keep the fun part in it. Try to keep your partner laughing. That's what I try to maintain. Just that side of it.
And play.
Yeah, that
Play.
playful side.
Yeah, I think play. Do something unexpected while you're out.
And I'm gonna
Whatever
tell you
that might be.
something. I remember when I was younger. I remember my mom and dad running around the house having like a water gun fight. When I was
Play.
probably like
You
6
know?
years old, y'all running around here with water guns. She hiding under the kitchen cabinet, he hiding in the closet, and they running around having a water fight. So yeah, you got to keep that playful side. I'm like, what in the world are my parents doing? Yeah, but that is the kind of relationship that I think I want to have, to where no matter how long we married, we can still be hopping around, playing hide and go seek, water gun fights, man, for real. Just to make sure, I want to keep the fun going like my parents did back in the day. Of course, didn't always end like that. But however, I know they had that spice going for like a minute. So, I want to make sure when I'm in a relationship, I keep that kind of thing going where we around here playing, acting silly. And, even if we might have those moments, because no relationship is perfect, but, you can always get out of that by saying something silly or having a fun moment, and you guys are right back to where you started. So, yeah, that's the kind of relationship I'm looking for.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I think the ability to play in places where you don't normally play, touch her funny, you know what I mean? Catch her off guard, sneak up on her while she out shopping, or, on the other aisle or something like that.
Mm.
Have fun, do different things. Like it doesn't have to be so monotonous. And I have lived that monotonous life, and that was also my fault too. So I've learned, and I'm doing my best to be better. Go ahead.
No, I'm just sitting here thinking. So it's like, being older, being over 50, it's just like I'm not I'm not dealing with no toxic stuff. I'm not here to be trying to have no toxic relationship or something that's not going to work. I want something that is going to work. But I know in order for something to work, I have to work. I have to work at myself. Excuse me, I have to work at myself. That person has to work on himself. And ultimately, we have to work together to make things work. So it's not just a one-sided thing. It's something that has to happen between
Yeah.
parties. Man, I didn't did this
Yeah.
again. Look, I know you saw this light go out above my head. Man, this is crazy. I always be tripping like, how the electrician not gonna have no light, but it just died on me. That means it's time to wrap this show up. Man, I'm losing light around this jut, and I know you out there with Rafiki flying over your Wi-Fi, messing your stuff up. So yeah.
This has been a weird one. This is
Yeah, that's all right. There we go. Bam. Bring good things to light. All right. All right. So I'm gonna have to come out there and tell that little bird, whatever he's doing, he stop flying circles around your house because he messed up your Wi-Fi. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up because I see my lights is going out, your Wi-Fi acting up. We're gonna go ahead and get these guys this last little piece of energy so we can keep it moving. So go on, give me your last feel about psychology and attraction. What really drives desire? What's one piece of advice that you want to give our listeners?
Like you said, be you, improve yourself, and be willing to give your partner what he or she wants. Be willing to play. I think what you said about the water guns was huge because that's a great example. And Rakiki or whatever you said, trying to put in his 2 cents.
On the show next week. Had to bring him on, give his little 2 cents because he definitely out there.
What a day. It's been a wild day. But that's what I got, man. Improve yourself, have fun. You're here to play. That's why you're on this planet. Enjoy it. Find your strengths, move in them. Find somebody that knows their strengths, moves in them, and likes to play the way you do. Not everybody likes to play the way you do. And you got to be honest about that. I'm going to leave it there.
That's cool. And you mentioned my parents, man. Like both my parents, they passed away. But just to know that out of all the fights that I remember them having, know that I have one good memory of them being together and running around and being happy, man. That's golden right there. That was a golden moment. So I'm glad that I have that moment of memory of them running around acting. They probably were 2 big kids at the time, if I think about their ages. But anyway, all right, well, guys, I want to thank you guys for joining us today. That is it for today's episode of the psychology of dating and what really drives desire. So remember, it's all about understanding, communication, and respect. That's where you got to start. That's the foundation. So you always got to have that at the forefront. And like Jerry said, man, it's all about playing. Make sure that you're playful. Make sure you keep that positive energy going in your relationships. And you always remember what started is the same thing that's going to take you back to whenever you start having those issues. Well, I hope you guys found our tips to be insightful today. And I hope you guys helps you just a little bit more on your quest to help you understand your perfect partner. And as always, we love hearing from our listeners. So if you have any questions or topics that you'd like for us to discuss in our future shows, feel free to drop us a message in the comments and we'll try to make sure that we add them on our future shows. And if you enjoyed today's show, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And always leave us a review. All right. And you guys can also connect with us on social media. As you see, y'all know who I am. I'm Keisha the Electrician. You can find me on Instagram and also on Facebook at Keisha L Blair. But if not, I think you guys can look on Alpha Intuition. You'll see all my links on there as well. But then just join the conversation for more updates and we'll let you guys know what we got going on for the next podcast coming up. So like I always say, man, y'all already know the journey to the top of any mountain begins with one single step. So don't stop, keep climbing. Thanks for joining us today. Until next time, y'all already know. Peace.
Peace.